And that's the bow. The hand of Murray Bone. Richard Phelps, I think that was, giving the attention go. This is a heat of the Britannia Challenge Cup, Thames Rowing Club B, on the left-hand side of your picture, and on the right-hand side of your picture, the young men from Aberdeen Schools Rowing Association. And this is for Cox fours, so there's a little Cox you can just see there, just behind Felix Verdbenner von Elk, the bowman of the Thames 8, furthest away from us. So there should be no trouble in steering for these boats, Bo.
No, there shouldn't, and hopefully not. Sam Cox in the Aberdeen Schools boat and Asa Cox in the Thames boat will be able to see the booms, will be able to see the course in the bow-loaded Cox seat, that they'll be able to steer as straight as line possible. And Aberdeen Schools Rowing Association at the moment just sitting half a length down into the transition phase of this race, being stroked by Harris Pierce, 17 years of age. They are National Schools Championship Cox fours winners this year, and they've gone out to start against the Thames Rowing Club B crew.
And it's interesting, I remember, I think the juniors from Molesey, when they had that very good junior crew, they were in the final of this event, Britannia, against Thames Rowing Club, who beat them. And they were a fantastic crew. I think two of the lads went on to win junior gold medal at the World Championships. So really, I guess a good club crew at this level would probably be a good junior crew. But, you know, I kind of thinking I'd like this junior crew just to get up there and just to, you know, be quite aggressive through the middle of the course and just give Thames a bit of a scare.
Yeah, of course, a lot of it will be inexperience as well as like experience. So the Thames crew, they've got Andrew Thomas, who has done 7 previous Henley Royal Regattas, so is a fully rounded athlete and knows what it takes to win a race against one other crew. You might put this race in a different circumstance under a different course, a multi-lane race, and Aberdeen Schools Rowing Association might have a set race plan that they might work towards, and actually the race be a lot closer than what it is right now. But the experience in Henley Royal Regatta often pays dividends. The more times you have done it, the better your skill set becomes at killing races off.
He looks a big unit, that lad in the stroke seat, Andy Thomas, doesn't he? Really sort of towers over the boat, in the stern of the boat. His dark shades behind, setting a great rhythm.
Yeah, he's setting a great rhythm. It's bow side stroke there. He's got the stroke sheet, the stroke coach in the very fluorescent yellow in the front, which will give him speed, or it might not give him speed. It depends on what the stroke would want to see, but also give him a rate, a stroke per minute that he will work towards.
So, why would you go for a stroke on bow side? You know, because I guess normally the stroke is on stroke side, and if you're American, I think bow side is starboard, and if you're watching in America, and stroke side is port. Most boats, I think, are strokes on port side or stroke side. Why would you go for a bow side stroke, though?
So the bow side, so Andrew Thomas, it could be an experience thing. He might be able to set a longer, looser rhythm than some of the stroke siders in the crew, and I don't want to say that they're not skilled enough, because I always thought I should be at stroke Martin, but I never got put there. Maybe that was because the stern was always under the water once I was there. But it could be a rhythm thing, it could be a length thing. Length in rowing is really important. The longer you row, the more efficient you can be, the less power you would need to put down, but the more power you would get out. And to keep the rhythm over 5-6 days worth of racing, it's very important that the coach makes a decision that brings the best out of the 4 rowers in the crew. So there could be somebody that might set a better rhythm than Andrew, but he might be able to utilize and capture more power and generate more rhythm for the other 3 members in the crew.
There we see a great shot of the coxswain, Asa Lofsted, 25 years of age, and very comfortable in that position, very snug. Really can't see behind him or them, so in fact has to be told by the bowman, Felix Verdmuller von Elk, exactly what's happening, just in case these Aberdeen Schools Rowing Association come up. Just there's the cox of the Aberdeen School Rowing Association, Sam Cordiner, and it's interesting to know about this club It's their first time ever with a full crew at Henley. Great year when they've just done so well at the national schools. It's a charity club, it's run by volunteers. Only has 45 members, 14 of which are at Henley this week, which is amazing. And if you know that part of the world, they row on the lower reaches of the River Dee up there in Aberdeen, mainly from the schools around Aberdeen, and it's fantastic to see that club here out on the water.
It really is, and it will be a great experience for this young crew. Magnus and Harris both 17, Murray and Sam 18 in the bows, and they're looking like they're really giving it their best effort. But they've just come up against a slightly more experienced, slightly stronger crew in Thames, and Thames, like you said, Martin, have been so dominant across many of the club events, as we just saw previously in the Prince of Wales cruise. Look like an extremely strong year once more for the Thames Rowing Club.
Yeah, we've got about 500 metres to go in this race. I guess in a headwind, that's going to be about 1 minute 40, 1 minute 45 or something like that for these guys. So there's still plenty of time for Thames to, you know, contemplate their rhythm, to actually get things right for their next race if they do prove to be successful. And also plenty of time for the Aberdeen Schools Rowing Association to have their moment, their day of glory at Henley Regatta. It's a fantastic achievement for the Aberdeen Schools to be here. They're doing so well to be competitive in this event. Looks to be a little difficult in those conditions now. They've been trying to be so aggressive on the front end, but the boat's wobbling a touch, Mo.
Yeah, it looks like they're dissipating their energy in not just the power for the rowing strokes, but also boats going sideways. Cox there is trying to G on his crew. Bow, Murray's just tried to look around to see whether they can make the distance. And Martin, I spoke earlier in a previous Brit, racing a Cox 4, which you're very, very well experienced on. It can change very, very quickly. The turn of boat speed can come within the last 400 or 500 metres. Not saying it's going to happen now in this race, but when it's tight, when there's a length in it, a lot can change within that last 400, can't it?
It can change within the last 250 metres, as I know, in terms of experience for the Los Angeles Olympics, which was where we managed to accelerate R4. You can move quickly, but I think it's beyond the Aberdeen Schools Rowing Association. But let's just watch and let's praise these 5 rowers from Thames Rowing Club, 5 including the Cox, who are coming up to the finish line. A very, very professional display from Thames Rowing Club B. Can't wait to see what their A crew looks like. But a big, big cheer for Aberdeen Schools Rowing Association. I'm sure the lads from Thames will give them a big cheer, because they were certainly in a race. They couldn't really let the rate down that much. And Aberdeen School Rowing Association just coming up there. So Thames beat Aberdeen in a heat of the Britannia Challenge Cup.